Do you ever feel stuck? Do you ever feel inadequate? Whether it's a skill set that you're trying to learn at work or maybe something in your personal life, maybe learning to communicate more effectively or have a better marriage or a better relationship with your children. Whatever it is that you feel stuck at, whatever you feel inadequate at, I have really good news. I'm Michelle Steffes, and I'm a brain trainer. I work with a lot of people, helping them to learn how to rewire their brain. And you can do that. Think about a time in your life when you had to learn a new skill set, whether you had to study for an exam and pass it. Now that's rewinding the clock quite a bit, at least for me, anyways. Or maybe you wanted to learn to play an instrument or learn a great sport that you wanted to become very good at, or maybe just a new skill set in general that you wanted to learn or had to learn for whatever reason. You had to really apply yourself. You had to go all in. You had to fill your heart and mind day and night with the right information. So whether that was through books or instructors or influences or studies online or whatever it was that you had to do, you were all in. And as you filled your heart and mind, you were literally creating new neural networks. Now, what I mean by that is you have 100 billion neurons in your brain, and those neurons are constantly wiring in neural pathways at 400 billion actions per second. And those pathways turn into networks. So you have a network for driving, you have a network for your daily routine, your relationships. Really, how you perceive all of life is driven by those networks. Also, your perception about relationships, about leadership, about really everything that you have to touch in a day. And what I want to challenge you to is to start to look at, kind of pull yourself out of your own conscious mind and look internally and start to dissect and think about what you spend your time processing day in, day out. But even do more than that. Think about how you're spending your time. So create a log from morning to night about where you're spending your time and what kinds of things you're feeding your mind every day. So everything from video games to, Netflix or texting, social media, and start to consider how it might be affecting your neural networks, how it may be wiring in some of that self-sabotage that you're facing. Because the more wiring that you have that is bent towards feeling bad about yourself and beating yourself up or having a lot of doubts, or even just not feeding the right areas of your brain to help you become better at those skills that you want to be good at, the more that you do that, the more it becomes the voices in your head that stop you from doing that. That's self-sabotage. And that's what keeps all of us from moving forward. If I was to walk up to you today and ask you if you were good at, well, I could pick any skill set, but let's just say leadership. And all of a sudden you had this, thoughts in your head about how you screwed this up and you're not good at that. And, you wish you were a better communicator or a better public speaker, or maybe you just feel like you're always making mistakes or you can't connect with your team, whatever it is. Why not begin to dedicate some of the time you're wasting that's building the wrong networks to building better networks? So in other words, reading the right books, being around the right people. Consider taking someone out to lunch that has the knowledge that you want. Pick their brain while you buy them lunch. Consider listening to podcasts or programs that will help begin to fill your heart and mind with the right thoughts. All of this is not in vain. It really works. And the reason I know that is because for the past 13 years, I've been helping hundreds of people one-on-one, especially leaders, but doing a lot of training with groups, thousands of people on stage and big platforms with hundreds of people present, to leadership training courses that I create and customize for larger, even Fortune 500 companies. And I've seen it happen again and again and again. In fact, one instance I remember in particular, right after I did the very first presentation, it was a Fortune 500 company. And I was told afterwards that the VP of the company actually went back to her office and wept because for the first time she realized she was not coming across as the leader she thought she was. And all that self-sabotage she had about herself, she understood how to change it. And she had hope. So she was crying not only because she had been inadequate, but crying because she had an answer for her future. And I see this again and again with individuals as well as leaders. And I want to give you hope today. I want you to understand it is changeable. Whether you invest in books, and I've got three of them behind me, or my podcast reaches 150 countries throughout the world, or other podcasts, other teachers, other leaders that will help you to grow. You are your best investment. And I would encourage you to take 2 days first and log in how you're spending your time and then look at it objectively, like your own coach, and begin to decide how much time is really being wasted. Pull some of that away and allocate it toward investing in your new skill sets to become a better you in the new year. But the other thing I want to say to you is it's never going to fit in. You're going to have to develop strong habits that you commit to over time. You didn't get in the situation you're in overnight. You're not going to get out in 2 weeks, which is the average, incidentally, where people quit with their New Year's resolutions. So you're going to need to stick with it long term. Well, I want to come back and talk about this again a little later. And when I do, I'm going to share specific habits that you can adopt that will really help you get a good foundation built in rewiring your brain and becoming the stellar you that I know you can be. Again, I'm Michelle Steffes, IPV Consulting, and I wish you an incredible future.